New Zealand is an island country in the southern hemisphere. The first people to settle there called it Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud. It has two main sections called North Island and South Island, with lots of smaller islands surrounding it. One of the neat things about New Zealand is that it is large enough to have a lot of different plants and animals, but it is far enough away from any other continent that it does not share a lot of common species. People did not find the island for a long time. It never had any humans at all living on it until around the year 1300. Land animals could not get to or off of the island, so there are a lot of animals in New Zealand that are not found naturally anywhere else on Earth. Plants that were common in other continents could not get to New Zealand, so there are plants found on the island of New Zealand that are not found anywhere else on the Earth. Plants and animals that are found naturally in only one place on Earth are called endemic, and New Zealand has a lot of those. One of the endemic animals found in New Zealand is the kiwi bird. The kiwi bird is a small bird that cannot fly. There are actually a few birds like the kiwi bird that can't fly. Scientists say that these type of birds evolved without wings because in New Zealand there are not any animals that live on the ground that eat birds. The first people to live on the island were the Maori people. They arrived on the island between the year 1250 and 1300. At this time, the island of New Zealand was covered with dense, thick forest and a lot of birds. The people wanted to grow crops, so they began to clear the land of trees. They also enjoyed eating meat, so they began to hunt animals. One of the largest birds to hunt at the time was the moa bird. Moa were birds similar to an ostrich, but they grew up to 12 feet tall. The moa birds were an endemic bird, meaning that they were found only on the island of New Zealand, and they were hunted to extinction. New Zealand is in the southern hemisphere, so the seasons and climate is opposite of what you might be used to. It is colder in the south and warmer in the north, just opposite of here. But in New Zealand, it never gets too cold or too hot. It is just right by most people's comfort level. The winters really don't see any snow except in the mountaintops, and the summers are not too hot in most parts of the country. There are high mountains, dry plains, and warm beaches. It is a popular place for extreme sports and adventure tourism. New Zealand is definitely a place that many people love to visit and live.